my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this right now. I don't even know how to hold the mic. That's how nervous I am. Okay, so, hi. This is really weird. So, if you don't know already, my name is Summer. 14 years old. Literally never done this before in my entire life. Don't know what I'm doing. If I didn't have the people that were helping me right now, I don't know what I would do. Honestly, like, I'd be lost. I wouldn't be where I am right now if I didn't have the people that were helping me. So I thank you all. If you're watching or listening, I thank you. But I can't believe I'm doing this right now. It's such a privilege to speak to anybody that is listening. But let's go. Let's go. I'm just gonna start off by saying, thank you. I want to say that anybody that's listening, you know why you're here. And I want to say that I'm proud of you. If you've been through anything, if you're struggling with mental health, if you're going through parent separation, I am proud of you. And everybody says, "Oh yeah, it'll get so much better. It's bad now, but it'll get better." It might not do that for a long time. I want to be real with you on this podcast. I want to feel the feelings. We will laugh, we will cry, we will laugh, cry, we will smile, we will be sad, we'll be stressed out. But that is the part of life that we have to endure. But anyway, we're going to my low, and it's the only couple of seconds that we've been into this podcast. So let's just. By the way, I love an accent. So if I break out into an accent, ignore me. I'm going to tell you a bit about who I am and what I've been through. So, what I'm going to start out by saying is, I'm just going to be real and I'm going to say, this is what I've been through, this is the challenges I've faced. Yeah. So, last year, in I think it was July, I noticed that my parents were like not sleeping in the same bed. And like they weren't. One was sleeping on the sofa one night, the other one was in bed. And it started to upset me at school. And I was like, why aren't they doing that? They're supposed to do that. They love each other. They're in a relationship. They shouldn't be separate. So I got upset one day at school. And I was like, I think my parents are getting a divorce. And I was like, obviously, as anyone should be. Or if you're not upset about your parents getting a divorce, that's completely fine. But I was, and I was just like so upset. I can't. Do you know when you're so upset you can't even describe the feeling? Like it's sort of just unexpressible. Like how much pain it's bringing to you. But I didn't. At this point, I didn't know that they were actually separating. So I was like getting my hopes up, and I was like, it's fine. They're not going to, but they probably just had a really bad argument. They're going to sort it out like they always do. And I guess one day they noticed, because after that, I think it was about 2 days after I cried at school. I saw my best friend Lily. Shout out, Lily. And she must have told her mum, because her mum and my mum are like that. So she must have, told her. And then she must have told my mum. So 2 days after, my mum, my dad, say, look, we need to talk to you about something. And I was like, okay, doesn't sound good. And then they kind of just said, we need to talk to you. It's quite serious. But yeah, and they basically just told me. And I kept a brave face. I didn't cry. Maybe I cried, but I didn't cry as much as I did when I went back upstairs. And they basically just, yeah, they just told me, and I was like, oh my god, and they were like, do you have any questions you need to ask? And I hate that question, because you have so many questions to ask, but you can't think of any in that moment. When somebody asks me, oh, have you got any questions, you know, like, anything about what I've just said, like, yeah. And I can't think of any, like, but yeah, anyway, that's very off topic. But it's not really off topic, but I'm questioning myself. Anyway. Yeah, so that's what happened. And then I went upstairs, I shut my door, and I just bawled my eyes out. And the first thing that I did was text my boyfriend at the time. And I was like, it's happening, I told you it would happen. And obviously he was trying to comfort me, and I really appreciated it. But it wasn't, because he'd been through the same thing. And he was like, we can get through this, it's alright, I'm here for you. I'm so sorry. I know what it feels like. And I was like, appreciative, but I didn't know. I thought our situations were going to be the same, because as a child in a healthy family where you're all together, and you know, you got your mom, your dad, you, maybe even a sibling, you're all one unit. And I used to think, when people's parents used to get divorced, which wasn't that common when in my group of friends, I used to just think, oh, they're separated, that's really sad. Done. Like, they don't want to be together anymore. That's it. But unfortunately for me, that's not the case. And I'm sure in a couple of episodes we'll get there to the whole thing. I'm just giving you a debrief of how my situation happened today. Just because it's the first episode and I don't want to be like, oh, but you know what I mean. Like, it's a bit heavy on for the first episode, so I'm just giving you like a bit of heavy, not my whole story, you know, but we'll unpack that as the episodes go through. But yeah, anyway, let's get back on topic. So like I was saying, my boyfriend at the time was trying to comfort me. I was bawling my eyes out. And then I rang my friend Keisha. Hi Keisha. I know you're watching. You best be. Anyway. And I FaceTimed her. And I just can remember in that phone call, what I thought I needed was my friends. In that moment, I thought I needed everyone to come and comfort me. And I thought I needed these big long paragraphs. And like everybody to just say how much they're here for me. But I quickly realised that that's not what I needed. and I needed to be by myself for a long time. And even today, that is the truth. So we ended the phone call. She sent me this massive paragraph saying, I'm here for you, I'm here for you. You know, like, I love you, I'm always here for you. Anything you need to talk about, I understand. Blah, blah, blah. But I knew that she didn't understand. And that's not her fault, but her parents are still together. So she couldn't understand what I was feeling. Because everybody's situation is different. It's not just a case of, oh yeah, like I said, when I was younger, this is what I thought. Oh yeah, they broke up. Done. Sign the papers off. You're two different families. It's not that. It's my situation right now is so complicated. But I'm sure for a lot of people out there, your situation is very complicated and very different to mine. But if you can relate to anything that I'm saying, that's great. Well, obviously it's not great, but it's nice to have somebody to relate to and to know what you're saying and know what you're feeling. Because I wish that I had that. And that is the reason that I'm starting this podcast. Is because I wish that I had something to listen to or somebody that I could just relate and just vent to. But I didn't have that. Yes, all of my friends were there and they were saying, yes, Summer, I'm here for you. I know what you're going through. I'm so sorry. But they didn't know what I was going through. They didn't know how I felt, because it's my fault because I didn't tell them, because I didn't want to tell them, because I knew that they didn't get how I was feeling, because their parents are still together. Or if they weren't still together, like I said, everybody's situation is different. So, yeah, anyway, I got off the phone with Keisha. She sent me this massive paragraph. And I think I just cried for the whole night. I cried. And then after that, my mental health just, it went downhill so much. We planned to go on this holiday with my friend Lily. Shout out Lily. Best be watching. And her parents and my parents and our siblings. So I didn't think we were going to go on this holiday because of what happened. But we did. We went on it. And I can just remember being so unexcited for this holiday. Before they broke up, I was so excited. I was over the moon. I'm going on holiday with my best friend again. Because we'd been on holidays together before when we were younger, but this is a recent, up-to-date one where we're older. So I was really happy, really excited, and then after that, I was not excited anymore. Bear in mind, this is like, they were contemplating on breaking up. They weren't fully broken up yet, so they were still trying to fight for our family and trying to put us back together and trying to solve their issues. But obviously, now as we know, didn't happen. But so yeah, so when we went on this holiday, they tried to make us a family again and make it look like we were all fine and we were perfect and we were this happy family that everybody knew us to be. But throughout the holiday, it quickly showed that we weren't this happy family that everybody knew us to be. And we weren't this big, my mum and dad weren't this big loving couple anymore. They used to be best friends. They were inseparable. They loved each other so much. I'd never known a love like it. Honest, I wanted that kind of love for my future relationship and my future family. But throughout the holiday, it quickly showed that we weren't that anymore. On that holiday, I officially knew that we were broken. So yeah. And then we came off the holiday, and then my mental health went from, so before they told me it was here, after they told me it was here, after the holiday it was here. And I can remember, I'm gonna fast forward now to, I was getting my flooring redone. I think this wasn't even that long ago actually. But I was getting my flooring redone. And I was on a mattress. That was all that was in my room. And I can just remember having my AirPods in, listening to Spotify, in bed, on the floor, and I can just remember crying for so long. I didn't eat. When people asked me if I was hungry, I said no. When my parents asked me why I didn't eat anything at school, because they can see, they get notified when I buy something at school, and they obviously didn't get a notification. And they asked me why I didn't eat at school. I said I wasn't hungry. I just that was the worst period in my entire life. I just, day in, day out, I had no routine. I didn't shower. And I remember I invited some of my friends because my boyfriend at the time wanted to come over to my house all of the time so that he could see me. And I get it. I wanted to see him too at the time because we were together and I loved him. But after they left, I got my pajamas on. I got in bed, closed my blinds, sometimes even left them open because I couldn't be bothered to go and shut them. Put my AirPods in, and I cried. And I listened to sad music. I didn't just put my playlist on, I created a specific playlist that was sad. And you might say, oh, that's weird, that's cringy. You shouldn't do that. That's just being pathetic. But I was that low. I needed to listen to artists that felt me, because that is the only thing that I could go to. So this is why I'm creating this podcast, so that you don't have to go and listen to sad songs. Yes, you can still do that. Of course you can still do that. I'm not saying that you have to stop doing that if you're already doing that. Please, by all means, go and do it. But I'm creating this for you because I don't want you to do that. I don't want... You can get to that low, but I want to stop you from getting that low. And I want you to relate to me. Boy or girl, non-binary, or any gender out there, I want you to know, I know you. I've been there. I've not been through it all, I've not seen it all, but I've seen enough. I've seen enough to know that no one should get that low, ever. Because it's not a nice feeling. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. Even the person that I hate most in the world, I wouldn't wish it on. Because it's a horrible, horrible, horrible feeling. That is a short snippet of my life. It's not it all. It's far from it all. Far, far from it all. But what can I say? That's me. I didn't actually know how hard that was to say. Like, as I was saying that was so hard. It might have seemed easy, but so hard. Sorry. Anyway, so you can come here if you're struggling. Please come here. Please. Instead of bottling it all up. You can bottle it up because I've done that, but I can't really say that because people say to me, it's better to bottle it, to say it than bottle it all up. But if you don't like talking to people about your issues and you want to solve them on your own, come here. I got you. I have got you. You don't need to be on your own. Because being on your own is worse than bottling it up. We're getting deep again. So, I'm going to tell you where you need to go if you're struggling. Because it's necessary. Because if you need professional help, like a therapist, or I don't know, I'm not an expert, but Childline, everybody says Childline, but it is a very good place to go because it's not just... I don't know about Childline actually, it might be phone calling, but I don't know if they can text. So if you don't like calling on the phone, there is resources out there that you can use for texting, like Kooth. I recently just I'm gonna be real. I was at a very low point the other day. I think it was about 3 days ago. And I was researching places for me to help, for me to get myself help. And I found this place called Kooth, and they were really good. All you need to do is create an account. There is a little hide this page button, so if somebody comes up behind you, press the hide this page and it will take you to Google. So they will never find out that you've been on it. That simple. there's a lot more resources out there. They are the two that I know. I will try and find some more and put them in the description of this video. Also, if anybody wants to come and vent to me on Instagram, in my DMs, on this on the YouTube comments, if you want to write your stuff down there because you haven't got Instagram or anything like that, put what you're feeling, vent to me in the comments, and I will read it and I will help you, because I don't want you to be alone, like I've already said a million times, but I just don't want you to be alone. That's all I'm saying. So, this literally segues into my next point. My platforms, okay? The things that I'm on, the things you can come and find me on. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Damn. I'm sure people out there will put my stuff on the, the screen. Please, vent to me. Okay? If anybody judges you, they're getting blocked. Okay? Blocked. Because I'm telling you now, nobody is going to be judgy on this channel. It's a safe space. Safe space. Nobody shall be judgy. Okay? And if they are, bye-bye. Bye-bye. I'm going to move on to my next point. I have been doing some poetry. I think it's good to share. I really want to share it because it was only supposed to be for me, to help me. Because I was speaking to my friend Evie Bear. Are you watching? You better be. Joking, I love you. I was speaking to her on the phone, and I was like saying how I don't put myself before other people because that's not me. That's not my morals. I don't put myself before other people. Some people do. Some people have that confidence, but I don't. And she was like, "Oh yeah, I get you, but that's not me." Because she's more confident than me. She's like a baddie. She is a baddie. She is that. But unfortunately, I am not. So I decided that I would take time for myself out of my day to create poems. Not just any old poems. Poems about my life. So I'm gonna find a poem now. I'm going to read you one. I also take my time out of my day for myself to journal. So I write down 5 things that I'm grateful for, 4 to 5 things that I've achieved today, and 3 to 4 goals for tomorrow. So let's take yesterday's, for example. What I'm grateful for: my family, my friends, my dogs, my homes, and living. Because if we weren't living, then we would be dead. Simple as that, really. What I achieved today: I created things for my podcast. I cleaned my room. I ate food. And I made my podcast accounts. Goals for tomorrow: eat, get my podcast going, which we are doing now, and be happy. We're going to read you a poem now. I think this one is a great one to start with. It is called They Don't Get It. They don't get it. Friends, they don't get it. They don't get it when you tell them about your crying on the bed in which you sit. Awkwardness fills every corner of the room. You can't get away from it. It's the room full of doom. It's that bad, you hope it might swallow you. The way they react is weakening your glue. Friends aren't supposed to look at you that way. They aren't supposed to leave you astray. 2 words isn't enough. I'm not looking for advice, or even an apology. I'm looking for a shoulder to cry on. I'm not expecting my emotions to be gone, but it would be nice to know I have someone that could comfort me. Gee, is it too much to ask? Never mind, eh? Hey, Summer, are you okay? Meanwhile, my mind is starting to decay. I don't want to talk right now. Hey, we haven't spoken in a while, Summer. Oh, that's a shame. Such a bummer. I guess you just don't get it. It's fine. I'll just drown in my own thoughts again. Like I always do. Like I always have. And like I always will. Thanks, but no thanks. That's my poem. That poem is basically just when I tell people about my experiences when I want to, it just never goes well. So I don't do it. They don't know how to react, they don't know how to comfort me. So I just don't do it. But it's not their fault before I'm like saying, oh yeah, my friends are like doing this, doing that, doing this. It's not their fault because they've not been through it. I'm not blaming them because it would be unfair. I'm just saying that's how I feel when I tell them things, and they just, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. But yeah, I think the only thing that I've not mentioned in this episode, parents, if you're listening, I just want to say, be mindful, because you might not think you know how your child is feeling, but you really don't. Yes, you might have conversations with them to check up on them on how they're feeling. They might cry, might tell you, they might not tell you, they might lie. But behind that bedroom door, there's a whole different life. But that is not to say that you can go in and disrupt that life because they need to get there on their own or with a friend. Unfortunately, parents want to interject and, yeah, they want to make everything perfect for their child. And unfortunately, sometimes they're just gonna have to do that on their own. And it hurts. Don't get me wrong. It will hurt you, but at the end of the day, they have to have privacy, you know what I mean? But yeah, that was episode 1. Can't believe I'm even saying that to you. It's absolutely mad. Thank you. I really want to say that. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come and listen to me yap for, 40 minutes? Yeah, I really appreciate you. And I really appreciate just coming on this journey with me. I think we're gonna grow together, and it's gonna be absolutely amazing. Like I said, if you wanna vent in the comments, please do it. If you wanna DM me privately, so it's private, please do it. Please, for the love of God, please do it. Because I will listen. I will reply to every single one of you. Don't think that I won't. Don't think I'm one of those people that say, oh yeah, come and vent to me, and then not reply. Because I will reply. I promise you, I will reply. But that's it. Thank you guys. I love you. Um, I'm so excited to go on this bumpy ride. But yeah, bye.